Oh, good morning. I'm like an onion this morning and I've got about 18 layers on. I was not taking any chances. It's -2 this morning. The whole of the UK has had a great big dump of snow and I was stranded in a car yesterday for most of it, so I was going to definitely make the most of whatever opportunity I got today. So I've come down to my nearest lake, which this morning looks more like a winter wonderland. It's absolutely incredible. Llyn Llech Owain, something like that. I'll put the, yeah. But it's absolutely amazing. I mean, look at this place. Absolutely breathtaking. I'm such a sucker for snow. The dog's not. The dog really is not a sucker for snow. But this is just so beautiful. I mean, I can't really not get a good picture in an environment like this. It's absolutely breathtaking. But I'm walking over to where I think the sunlight is going to be, where the sunrise is going to be. And there's some amazing, really cool bendy trees, which, as luck would have it, are the right side of the woods to get the sunrise this morning. So fingers crossed. I'll be so thrilled if I manage to get some snow landing on me. If I manage to get some early morning light coming through there. It is forecast cloudy, but I'm hoping there's going to be a break in the clouds just to let. Oh, I can't believe it here. This is amazing. Oh, we need more weather like this. Yeah, I'm going to struggle going into work this morning. This is crazy. It is cold, but wow, it's worth it. I've got like base layer, thermal trousers, 15 jackets. Oh, it's cold, but it's well worth it. Okay, so I've reached the opening part of the woods. That's the sort of tree area over there. The clouds really, it's quite windy still, so it's not looking like I'll get a break in the clouds this morning. I'll get some nice light, but it won't come through the trees like I wanted it to. So this might just turn out to be an epic winter wonderland walk with the dog. But it's so beautiful. I'm hoping I'll be able to get a nice composition. If not, obviously pick out some close abstract shots of the trees. It's just such a beautiful place. It's so nice to be here. Could walk around here all day. It's absolutely incredible. Right, I'm going to put the camera down. I'm going to put this camera down, and I'm going to get the other camera out, and I'm going to try and take a photograph of this. I'm not sure which way. Callie's loving it. I'm not sure which way to shoot. I mean that. That's amazing there, isn't it? These trees leading up to that bridge. And a path going off that way. Right, let's look for some foreground. I'll see if I can try and. I don't want to show too much of the outside of the woods though. I want to keep it so that the bridge is sort of closing in. So I might use that there. Let's have this path here. This edge of the path here, leading up to there with the trees and that. Let's do that. Let's have a look at that. Absolutely gorgeous, look at that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the edge of this path as the leading line up to the bridge. I'm going to take a pano image for a change, and just to include these trees right round to the bridge there as well. A few of you have asked how I mean, everybody does things differently. There's no right or wrong way necessarily, but I'll run you through a bit more detail how I do my panos. I'm not going to bracket this photograph, so it's just going to be because there's no real harsh contrast in light, and if there is, I want the contrast in there for the blacks and the trees. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to meter for the highlights. So just making sure that your histogram is exposing for the whites, or attach under if you like, so you're not clipping anywhere. I mean, obviously you can just about make the sky coming through, but that's not good. That's not really very bright today, so that's not going to be a worry. So yeah, with the panoramic, all I'm going to do is, it's always a good idea to stand up. It's always a good idea to take a slightly wider pano than you think you might need. So I imagine the photograph's going to start around about there. So I'm actually going to take it just a bit wider, and then I imagine that just before the bridge just after the bridge, should I say, is where the pano is going to end. Very important is the tripod setup. You've got to make sure that the tripod is completely level. So you'll have a bubble on the top of your tripod. Make sure that that is completely vertical, and then obviously you can use the inside of your camera. You could put a, I've got people coming down here now, it's all dressed up in ski stuff. You've got half a chance then of getting the panoramic stitch perfectly, so make sure the bubble on your tripod is completely vertical, and then you can use some cameras have got a bubble access built into the camera as well, or you can put a little bubble on the top of the camera. Make sure that the camera's level as well. As I'm sort of panning around with the camera, is you're literally looking for a point, moving over and making sure that the points are going to overlap when you stitch. So I'll take a shot there, 2-second timer, just so I'm not touching the camera. That's got that shot. Now what I'll do is I'll look for the middle of that photograph, move it over to make sure that the middle of that photograph is now on the edge. So I've got plenty of overlap. You need about 20%, 30% of the photograph to overlap. So I'll move around the scene, just making sure that I'll keep an overlap and not missing any part of the photograph in the next. Another trick, or something I've discovered, is with a wide angle lens, be careful with a panoramic, because if you're too wide, it can cause issues. Obviously you'll get curvature and stuff in the background. So if it's a long distance panoramic you're doing, or you're trying to get a whole scene in, try not to go sort of below 16mm on a full frame. So on this camera I try not to go below 14mm, which is about 18mm full frame, just so I don't get that curvature in the background. I do forget on occasion and get back and think, oh great, now I've got a bumpy horizon I've got to try and straighten out. But what I forgot to mention was what's really important for panoramics, and to be honest, I wouldn't do landscape photography without it, is an L bracket. So the L bracket it's got a lot of uses really, but with the panoramic it's vital because it keeps your camera straight above the tripod. So as you're moving the lens around over the tripod, you avoid what's called parallax. So basically if your camera was over here, that would basically mean that when you rotate your camera around here, it will be a different distance to over there, to what it was when the camera was rotated around here, if you know what I mean. So because the camera's physically moving distance, what you'll get is when you go to stitch the pictures, there'll be what's called a parallax effect, which is like a movement in distance. These are Arca Swiss styled, dead cheap. These aren't special. I mean, this is less than 20 quid off Amazon. I'll put a link. But for the Fujifilm XT2 on this one, obviously. But you can get on. I've got a universal one on my Fujifilm X Pro 2, which fits any camera. It's like 15 quid. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, it's nice and solid. Arca Swiss there, and it just basically keeps the camera on top of the tripod, and it's really, really handy as well if you want to go and switch the camera horizontal. Just unscrew, clip and move it around. Oh, every now and again when the wind comes in, it sort of knocks all the snow off the trees. Normally when I'm looking up at them thinking how amazing they look, I get a face full of snow. Right, I've got talking to some people who apparently have walked these woods every day for like 15 years. Them and their dogs. Adopted like 5 dogs, it's crazy. So yeah, the lights kind of escaped away. We're getting some blue sky though. You see it better now? Yeah, so I see the dust coming, the snow falling off the trees, the wind's starting to pick up, the sky's clearing. It actually feels like it's getting colder. But I'm going to take this quick shot, which is just literally 15 foot from where I've been stood for the last half hour, 45 minutes, talking to them people. I haven't really got very far at all. I'll talk you through the settings. So you've got the Fujifilm XT2 on the tripod with the XF10-24 lens. I've got it pretty much wide open. Let's brighten that up a little bit. Just to get, I was going to do a panoramic shot. I thought that might work quite well. But what you get with a panoramic shot, let's come back down here. What you get with the panoramic shot, you'd get a lot of warping in the foreground here. So panos work great, but you've got to be careful with in my experience, with like these areas here, all this wood could potentially have a really, really weird effect. It could work, but I think I'd rather keep it looking as it is. I mean, it looks amazing as it is. So I'd rather keep all the perspective and all the lines looking as they are. So very, very bog standard, straightforward shot. So f9, ISO 200, and it's only sixth of a second with the image stabilizer turned off. And now I've got the L bracket in landscape mode. So just a simple flip over, and it's in landscape mode. Nice and solid. Just make sure that that green line is straight. It's one of them shots, and I'm gonna bracket this because the blue sky's starting to come. So I'll turn that so that it's not going to do that. Right, okay, so that shouldn't change now. When it focuses, there it is. So yeah, because the blue sky's starting to come through, I'm going to bracket the exposure just so it gets as much dynamic range as I want. So I'll be able to bring out all this detail as well without losing the sky. So I'm going to bracket. It's a 3-stop bracket, which is probably more than we need, but I don't tend to change that. Yeah, so F9, 15th of a second is the base image, making sure that that base image isn't clipping anywhere. And then 2-second timer, and boom. 3, 2, 1. The dog is in the picture. The dog's noticed it. Callie, come back here a minute. Come on. Come back. Come on. Come on. That's it, good girl. Alright, you sit there. Stay. Alright, let's try that again without your nose in the picture. What a dilemma I've got. I'm walking around these woods and there's so much to see. It's just, literally you could stop every 6 inches and take a really, really cool picture. The dilemma I've got is I can't decide whether to keep my wide angle on or stick the 5140 zoom on there and pick out some details. It was really, really cool just a second ago. I took that under the shot, under the bridge, and a robin landed just in front of me. But as the timer of the camera went down to 1, the robin went. Oh, I was devastated. That would have been amazing. Oh wow, I seen it. That's all that matters. I'm going to walk round to the bendy trees. Hopefully they've had a dusting in snow. If I get a nice picture there, anything else is a bonus. I might stick the 5140 on afterwards. And come on, Pop, this way. Come on, you know the way. She's got a face full of snow. Kelly, come on. Anything else from there is a bonus. Oh, I'm loving this morning. It's amazing. I've actually got coffee in the bag. I haven't even thought about getting that out. Normally that's like my priority. But I'm just feeling so excited this morning with all the snow and ice. It's crazy. Right, let's motor on and get to these bendy trees. That dog's not got a happy life. Oh, here's me trees. Right, here's me bendy trees. Now, it's darker in there than I hoped it was going to be, but it's had a bit of a dusting of snow. Isn't it cool how robins always seem to come out when you're out in the snow? I've seen a few around here. I absolutely love robins, especially set against the white background. I'm hoping he hangs around a little while and I'll stalk him down when I've got the big lens on. But no, I'm in my location. I'm in my bendy trees. Absolutely stunning here, I love it. But it's one of them places that I thought today, because it's covered in snow or dusted with snow, it's like it's been sprinkled with icing sugar, isn't it? I thought it would make a really, really nice, composition, but it's still very abstract. I'm struggling to put the camera in the right place. So I'll take the shot, but I don't think it's going to go the way I hoped it would. Good girl, Pop. Well, this wasn't an easy shot to get. I think it's probably the best option I've got. I mean, from where I am now, I've got all these leading lines pointing off. I've got amazing detail in this wood here. I've got my caster sugar all over the trees. The light's coming through on the right hand side over there, so it's lighting up the side of the trees. Absolutely fantastic, actually. It's transforming the green on the side of these trees. Amazing. So what I've gone for is a bracketed panoramic. And basically the same principle as before, whereas I'm taking a shot there, shot there, shot there, shot there. I'm also going to do a dark a medium, perfectly exposed one, and an overexposed one as well. So I've got full dynamic range and full control of each part of the subject. Yeah, so quite difficult though setting up because the ground is kind of mossy. So getting the level head on the tripod bang on, knowing that you're going to be moving the camera around and the camera would be toppling slightly, was quite difficult. And then obviously keeping the dog away from the camera as well. But yeah, so we're just starting off, as I mentioned before, just taking a shot more than you need to basically. So I'm focusing on my foreground f8. I'll just refocus there. Is just here in front of me. So f8 should give us a hyperfocal distance of, you know, a good 20 foot, I'd say, at f8 here. It might not be tack sharp. I perhaps should do a focus stack, but can't really focus stack panoramic bracketed images very well. So before I get a wet backside, I'm going to do another one. So just focusing again, just to check my focus, and I've knocked the camera slightly off. It'll be okay. So lens wise, I was a bit wide there. I try not to go below 14mm for a panoramic because you get weird effects happening. So I'm about 14mm there, just a fraction under 14mm, and yeah, that should pan around nice. So let's refocus there. F8 ISO 200 on the Fujifilm XT2 with the 10-24 on. So the base image is a third of a second, and then the dark image is 1/25 of a second, and the overexposed image is 2.5 seconds. So that's really, really bright there. So it's moving around to the next section. So just gone from there to there, making sure I've got plenty of overlapping. Move the camera around. And obviously, you've got to keep an eye that you're not going to clip as well, because as the sun's rising, it is getting brighter. Where my dog's gone? There she is. So I'm moving it very, very small fraction amounts. Probably could get away with moving it more, to be honest with you, but I think you get a better stitch if you move it less. But this is what landscape photography is about for me, just getting out in all the different weather, all the different seasons of the year. You could visit an environment sort of 20, 30 times throughout the year, and it's different every time you come, and especially with the snow. Landscape, well, any photographer's dream really, but landscape photographer's dream, snow. I had packed up, but then the lights come through and lit up the side of the trees. Absolutely gorgeous. I don't know why you can see that. Well, the lights catching them trees there is absolutely beautiful. Wow. So very, very quick, grab everything back out of the bag before that light changes. Set the camera up, set the tripod up. I've gone up to f11 now because it's got a lot brighter. I just sat there for about 5 minutes, just with me coffee, taking it all in, you know. This light is amazing on the side of the trees. Look at this. Look, that's catching the light. That's catching the trees. It's exactly what I hoped would happen. The sun's further round, I must admit, than I was expecting. I was expecting over there. Absolutely glorious. That light coming through there, lighted up all that. I'm really struggling to go into work this morning. It's crazy. It's so pretty. I mean, I know these woods really well, and they're always pretty because all these branches are like a fluorescent green pretty much throughout the year. So these around here is gorgeous anyway, at the worst of times. But this morning it is unbelievable. Wow. Well, we're gonna head back now because the dog's moaning. She's cold, she's got a cold bomb from sitting on the snow all this time. And I need to get to the office and do some work. But thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. It'd be really, really awesome if you subscribed and hit the bell. And it'll notify you then when I upload more landscape photography videos. Be it for if you're interested in the Fujifilm brand or just landscape photography in general. Look forward to seeing you in the next adventure. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.